head back, lift, squeeze as hard as you can, and then down. Touch the ground, and straight back up, squeeze as hard as you can, always trying to push your hips as far forward as possible. Alright, if this is too easy for you, you can actually take your feet further forward, point your toes up. So just your heels are on the ground, same thing, hips up, squeeze as hard as you can. It's all about the squeeze. It'll take a lot to get the feeling of being able to squeeze as hard as you can, but you always want to be trying to squeeze it because that's you're going to get the most out of it. From there, we're going to go on to front plank raises. So instead of just holding a plank, we're going to go into this position. We're going to go up, squeeze butt and abs as hard as possible, and then drop to your knees and just have a breather. And then go up again. Squeeze as hard as possible, abs and glutes, and drop down again. Now you'll notice that I'm squeezing my fists and pushing my heels back hard, and that again helps to squeeze everything as tight as you can. Then we go on to cook hip lift. So with this is just a single leg variation. Pull one knee into your chest, push up, again, squeeze as hard as possible and down. Up, squeeze as hard as possible and down. You may only get an inch or so off the ground when you start because this is a flexibility thing as well as a strength thing, but the more flexible you get and the more strong you get, the more elevation you'll be able to build. Again, if you need to make it harder, you can take the heel down, toe up and out a little further, and that'll give you a little bit more out of the exercise. Then we move on to slow mountain climbers. So we're going to a push-up position, bringing one knee in slowly, and then taking it out slowly. Bringing one knee in slowly, and taking it out slowly. Now what this does is this forces this glute and your abs to work really hard at the same time to stabilise everything. And that's why we do it slowly. It'll take a while to build your reps up, and that's okay. You just do as many as you can. Then we go on to couch hip thrust. I don't have a couch here. I've got a bench. But basically, putting your elbows and your upper back on the bench, lie back, push the hips up high as you can, squeeze as hard as possible, and down. Touch. Push up high again. Eyes looking straight up or straight ahead, so your head stays in good posture throughout. Then we go into a split squat. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, feet at shoulder width, not on a tightrope. Drop the knee down and stand up tall. Drop the knee down, stand up tall. Make sure this knee isn't collapsing inwards and you're not wobbling around. If you're wobbling around, just take it slowly. If you can't get all the way down, just go as far as you can and just nice and slow and controlled. That'll get the best results. From there we do walkouts. Walkouts, hands on the ground, walk them out to the front, walk them back towards your feet. If you want to make it harder, you can walk out further. And if you want to make it harder again, take 1 foot off the ground. And that'll just make things a little bit more difficult again. Then we go to body weight sit to stand. So don't worry about weights. We're just going to sitting down, stand up, sitting down, make sure you sit all the way back. If you need to, you can use your hands for balance, and that'll slowly build. Now there's a couple of options at the end. We have the seated band row. So I've got this band right here. What I'll do, sit down, wrap it around my feet, grabbing on here, pulling the elbows back, hands toward the hips, nice and easy, squeeze hard, nice and easy. And this slow and controlled pace is what we want throughout all the exercises. Last one is a mini band walk. So the mini band are these little circles. So you step in. I like the band underneath the knees. And you want feet straight ahead, knees pushing out wide in a half squat position. And then we're just going to walk a centimetre or so forward at a time, still trying to keep the feet straight ahead and the knees pushing out. And then you want to go backwards. Now, this will work very hard in here, and this also helps with those knees collapsing inwards, but you have to concentrate really hard on pushing the knees out. And that's it. That's our beginner workout.